Three, two, one, ouch.
You're live.
Hi, guys and gals. It is Tuesday, day before fishing day. I'm going fishing tomorrow morning. Vicki and I are going to the lake just for an hour or two because we got too much to do to spend more than that. But we're going to give it a shot. So just went and spent a bunch of money on fishing gear. So we got people coming on. Excellent. So hopefully the picture is right tonight. Vicki started it with it sideways. We're filming again with Vicki's phone.
Oh, Sophia says, hi, Papa.
Hey, Ophi. I hope to see you on Thursday, right? Thursday. Yeah.
Wednesday?
Yeah. No, tomorrow's Wednesday. Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
Yeah, because they have tomorrow off. Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, right? I think. I don't know. I think. So we've got, I got a couple things I want to, actually I got a bunch of stuff I want to go over. First things first.
Sophia says that everything looks good.
Good.
Hi, Gary. Hi, George.
Good. George? Gary?
Walters. Gary Litchfield.
Hi, Gary. Hi, George. Hi, folks.
Nancy Hall. Let me tell you. Hold on.
Okay.
Greg Anderson, Glenn Showalter, Dan Yodas, Julie Harrison,
Julie is Jason. Jason Harrison.
John Diekman. Hi, John. Tessa, Richard Litz. Okay.
Yeah.
Matt.
A whole bunch of them.
Matt
Bay?
Matt Bay.
Hey, Matt. Hey, guys. All right, so this is kind of just an announcement. Someone had told me a couple weeks ago that on our Amazon store, the pad that I use on my benches wasn't available, and this is it. It's the Mod Box. That's the black pad that I have on my benches, which I love. And there's probably a dozen different pads out there that would work. That just happens to be the one that I picked that I love. Anyway, it is available on our Amazon store now. I went and looked just a little while ago.
Dan Yoda says, where do you fish in the desert?
Anywhere you can. We have a lake about 20 minutes that way. Lake Mojave. Great lake for smallmouth. And that's what I'm going after. I caught a really nice smallmouth last week. But I'm gonna catch more tomorrow. I'm certain of it. Anyway, so first things first. I got a couple questions and some comments. Actually, I got
Awesome. Sorry.
Oh.
Andy says Steph got that shirt today.
Oh, cool. So I was talking with Tessa. I know she's here, and I think Tessa and I talked about this a little bit, and I got the same kind of question from Steven. And it's about cutting inset O's and what to look for and how to get inset O's to look right. And so here's what Steven says. I seem to be having a problem cutting curves. On the letter O inset, I can get the outset edge pretty well, but the inside edge, I seem to leave too much on the first pass, so I sneak up on it and try to shave off a little until I get it right. Huh?
Cute little piggies, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck. And I'm talking about the back side of the bit where I can't see the cutting edge. Just about every time I sneak up on it, I end up cutting too much away, and then I have to even it out to make it look round. Happens on D's and 8s and 2s. Is there a trick that you do naturally without thinking about that you can pass on? So I had to really think about this, and I know I think I talked to Tessa about the same kind of thing. So I've got a couple comments that I can make on that. So I've laid out a couple O's here, a couple 2-inch O's, and generally speaking, my inset letters, not all the time, but for most of the time, I use the 60-degree bit to do these inset letters, unless they're a different style. So I use a 60-degree bit. I'm messing you up. I'm sorry.
Bring it back over this way. The whole board.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is the bit that I normally use. Now, what I suggest, until you get used to it, what I suggest you do is maybe use, instead of the 60,
Okay. That's. Hold on. Let me adjust instead of you trying to adjust. It's easier.
so instead of using the 60 in my right hand on your left side, maybe try the profile bit. The profile bit won't cut quite as good as the 60, but for most cases it will, depend if you've got good material. So the point is that they're round and they roll. I hope I didn't lose the point. No, I didn't lose it. So when you're trying to cut this area here, this cuts really wide as compared to this. So this will give you more room for error if you decide to use the profile bit. That's the first thing that I would suggest. The second thing that I would suggest is maybe going shallow. Like I always say, if you're having a tough time holding a line, try going shallow first and then come back and make a second pass deeper. That again will make it narrow when on your first pass and deeper on your second pass. That's number 2. Number 3, honestly, and this is assuming that you're cutting good wood, that your router base is sliding. What Stephen is saying here and what Tessa was saying is that when you're cutting, looking at it from, if I was on the other side of this, you cannot see, what happened to my little pencil? You can't see this side of the router bit. So you can see, from your guys' vantage, you can see this side of the router bit, but you can't see this side of the router bit. And that's what Stephen was referring to, is on the back side of the bit, he can't see where that thing's cutting. And that literally, guys, again, if you've got your material right and your bits are sharp, that literally becomes just a matter of practice. So what I would suggest is get a bunch of scrap. Make sure it's decent wood, but it could be the cedar fencing, whatever you got that isn't really expensive, but it cuts pretty well. And just lay out a whole board of O's and S's and just practice over and over and over and get comfortable with curved lines that don't stop, like S's and O's. That's way back when we used to, on our first set of videos that we filmed in the 90s, Dad talked about doing some practice things. So just lay out a bunch of O's and a bunch of S's and just practice those O's and S's, because that's really the biggest thing. If you've got the right bits, which you probably do if you get them from us, and if you've got the right material, chances are it's just a matter of practice. So that's really the best. And then the other thing is, guys, don't be too critical on yourself. That's a mistake that I made probably for the first 10 years that I was carving. I'm still critical on myself, but I don't let it frustrate me like I did when I was, in my 20s and 30s even. Just understand that, and remember too, that after you get done cutting this thing, you're going to spray it and then you're going to sand it off. So even though you can see all those little tiny imperfections, because the layout letter, and I'm assuming that if you're laying your signs out like this, those layout lines are all going to be gone. Even if you're doing it with a transfer or carbon paper or cutting through materials or whatever, if you're cutting through vinyl, however you're doing it, all those layout lines are going to be gone. So nobody's going to see those. The only one that sees them right now is you. And once you sand that thing off, all of those layout lines are going to be gone. So even though you can see little bobbles and imperfections, unless it's somebody like me, Nobody else is going to see them. Your customer is going to love it. So stop being so critical on yourself. Just don't be, we're all just trying to do the best we can. And the more practice that you have, the better you'll get at it. I was just talking with Tessa, and Tessa's signs have come, light years from where she started. And, we all have our things that we have to deal with, and Tessa has hers just like the rest of us. I don't have to worry about my ponytail getting caught in the router. That's something Tessa's got to worry about. Anyway.
Michael Carson says, where do you send your SEO TDs submissions to?
Please send them to me directly to my email, eric@makeawoodsign.com. If you send them through Facebook or any other place, I might miss them, and it's kind of a pain to print out of there. So please send them directly to my email.
Hi, Danny. I got your order from Vicky today. It'll go out tomorrow.
Danny
Meadow.
Oh.
Is that another tarantula hawk?
Where? We just saw one earlier. They wouldn't be over here.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They're not aggressive. They're, they hurt when they sting you, but they're not aggressive.
Yeah.
I think that guy said they're 2 on the sting zone. Anyway, or thereabouts. All right, so that's it. So if you guys have questions, obviously, eric@makeawoodsign.com. Email me. Hey, sis. Happy heavenly birthday to my mother, by the way. Today my mother would have been 86, I believe, today.
Same as your dad?
Yep, same as Dad. Happy birthday, Mama. Okay, so next. Yes, Keith. Yeah, Keith asked me what my opinion, wanted my take on the handheld CNC routers. The Shaper Origin and the Goliath. And until he said something, I had never seen the Goliath. I've seen the Shaper Origin. I've seen that up close. I've seen it in person, up close. And I know Jess Crow has one. She's used that on video. Several people are using those, and they're very popular. So if you don't know what they look like, this is the Shaper Origin. And it has a screen. You lay these domino-looking strips down on the wood, and then it has a screen, and you hold on to it here, and it literally follows. It reads those printouts and cuts what you want it to cut. So it's handheld, but it's CNC. So it's very interesting machine, fascinating to watch. And then the Goliath is. This is not a very good picture of it, but this is the Goliath, and you guys can Google that. You guys can Google that or go on YouTube and it'll show. This was actually started from.
Dan said they're very expensive too.
I would imagine that they are. Honestly, I don't know. I think they're a couple grand. I think, and this Goliath actually started with a Kickstarter program, and they raised like $1 million, which good for them. My opinion is I would never have one of these. I don't have any use for them. But my opinion is I'm a freehand guy. That's what I do. I don't have anything against these. It's just I think it's worthwhile to learn how to do this freehand. Because then if something happens, all you need is electricity and your router, and you're in business. If one of these goes down and you depend on this to make your product, that's a vulnerable spot to be in.
Dan said the Shaper is $2,499.
Yeah, I was thinking it was over $2,000. And it's been out for a while. The Goliath, I don't know what the Goliath sells for, but the Goliath is fairly new on the scene as compared to the Shaper or the Origin, and so they're fascinating to watch. And hey, if you don't want to go through the learning process of learning how to do it freehand, I don't have anything against them at all. It's just it's not what I do, and I think it's valuable to learn how to freehand carve. Even the big CNC machines. Now, one of those, I see a lot more value in one of those, because then it's a matter of if you're doing stuff for production, like let's say you're making, funny signs or Bible verses or whatever that you're selling through. And again, I look at it from a selling process. If you need something to create production, I know Brad and Diana have a CNC.
Even Renee says the downtime on her CNC sucks.
Yeah, and again, Renee's got a bunch of them. So I really think that we've had many people that learn how to freehand sign carve, and then they've moved on and ended up with a CNC machine, and I think that's terrific. Jacine Palmer, and there's just a bunch of them that have done that, and that's terrific. If you're going to use it, in my opinion, if you're going to use it to create things for production that you can make over and over and over, and you can be productive making, maybe cutting the boards or whatever, while your machine is kicking these things out. So from my standpoint, I would spend a little bit more. And honestly, now you can get CNC routers with a 2-foot by 2-foot bed. I think you can get them for a couple grand now. And I would much rather have one of those rather than one of these. I think these are they're kind of a novel idea, although I just don't know how practical they are. However, I will say that Jess Crow used that Shaper Origin, and she cut a river in this big table, which you can't really do that with a CNC, a small CNC, although you might be able to feed it in and do it in. But I'm watching her do that with this Shaper Origin, and I'm thinking I could have laid that out and done it in half the time, because it's just a river going through this table. Anyway, I think it's valuable to learn how to freehand carve. Then if you want high production, then go with the CNC, and now you've got the best of both worlds. If the CNC goes down, you can freehand route.
Tim Forsick is here. See, I said it right this time, Tim.
Hey Tim.
Dick Parrish is here. Renee says, and maintenance is crazy wild too. I need to learn from you, brother, to hand carve. I think Steve might be able to teach me.
I think he should, Renee. I really do. I think you ought to pick up that router and carve.
Matt Bay says, I'm getting a CNC for another purpose, but can't say freehand custom signs if it's CNC.
Can't say what?
That is freehand custom signs.
Right. Yeah.
Jim said, very good. I remembered.
But honestly, if you've got a good product, my sister and brother-in-law make a fantastic product, and people don't care. They don't care, if it's CNC carved. I think there's a segment of the population that would like to know that it's hand done. I think there is some, but I think there's a great segment of the population that just want a great looking product, and and it just doesn't. They don't even think about it.
Greg Anderson agrees with you.
Yeah. So I think that the CNCs definitely have their place. I hurt for my sister because she has those carve rights, and they just drive her crazy. And I've been talking to her about getting a different one, because there really are some good CNC routers out there. And sis, if you're not going to freehand carve, I sure wish you'd get, and I'm sure that there are people on here that have recommendations. I've heard good things about the Shark, about several different ones, and I really would like to see you not have to work so hard to maintain those. Oh, we got a hummingbird. Finally, they're back.
Yeah.
There he goes right there.
Justin Flores says, I love doing freehand.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't. As long as the good Lord keeps me going the way I am, I don't think I'm going to ever do signs with a CNC if
Michael
I can
Elliott says, thank you again so much for the kind words about the flag I made. It means
That was
a lot to me and definitely helps boost my confidence.
That was amazing.
I'm trying to see more because there's more.
It was a great video. That was so cool. I loved the wife's reaction. I can't say what she said, But I love the wife's reaction in the background. It was great. It was terrific. It was really an amazing sign, Michael. You did a fantastic job. I love that video.
Says she loves doing freehand. She finds it relaxing.
And that's the thing too. Yeah, I get messages all the time from veterans that have PTSD that the rhythmic something about concentrating and the rhythmic sound of the router it's almost therapeutic. So, not to say that listening to a CNC router might not be therapeutic.
Matt
I don't know.
It's my therapy.
Yeah, it's mine. I know that. It's mine. I can sit down and carve a sign, spend an hour or two, and I can dream of things that I want to do and ideas. It's kind of my meditation time almost. It's almost like meditation time for me. Anyway, so that's my take on it, Keith, and that's what I think about that.
Finally getting back in the shop this week.
Terrific. Great to hear that, Matt. Good for you, buddy. All right, sign carvers of the day.
Mark Hallis says, I agree. As a veteran with PTSD, I just started carving and it's really relaxing.
That's fantastic. That's great. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, Thank you for your service.
Sent him one of the starter beginner kits.
And that's Mark who?
Hallis, I think.
Okay.
Hallas.
Thank you for your service, Mark. Thank you all you veterans out there for your service and current armed forces personnel. Darren Ferguson. This one's really cool. Look at that. I dig it. Great use of colors. The way you mix the black and the red. Oops, sorry. The way you mix the black and the red. Terrific. Great job, Darren. I really, really like it.
Matt said he loved that. He said Matt's a firefighter with PTSD.
I know Matt was a firefighter. Yeah. Leanne Stanton in the UK. Very first sign.
I've been talking to her quite a bit.
Congratulations, Leanne. Great job. By the way, we're into May. She sent this to me on May 4th. So we're actually in the same month.
Holy moly.
I'm getting caught up. Well, kind of. But anyway, terrific job, Leanne. Congratulations. Looks great. Andy Littleton. Who's this guy?
Who's this crazy man?
This is a 1x12.
Wow, that's awesome, Andy.
Yeah, it is. 1x12, 14 and a half inches, select pine. In God letters are half-inch red, blue, black marsh ink. So that's half-inch letters. In God we trust. Outset half-inch letters. That's impressive, my friend. Great job, Andy. Very nice. I've seen that design, but I love the way Andy put that together with those colors. Fantastic. Super job, buddy. Paul Peterson.
I said I talked to Leanne quite a bit. Tessa said, "Are you cheating on me, Vicky?"
Oh, that's
Tessa,
funny.
I can multi-chat.
That's funny. Paul Peterson. So this is the top one is 3 foot by 5 foot. That's a big sign. Really nice. And the small one is 8 inches by 5 foot long. So it's all no wood showing. It's all painted, which that would be a nightmare for me. But you pulled it off great, Paul. That looks fantastic. Great job. Really cool.
Oh, Andy said thanks.
You're welcome, Andy. You deserve it, buddy.
Oh, I didn't know there was another one.
One more. Bob Rose. Another nurse's sign. I think Bert Graham had one of these last night. Mm-hmm. Great job, Bob. And that is for a friend in Pennsylvania who's a nurse, obviously. Terrific job, Bob. I'm sure she loves it. Great job. All right, that's the sign carvers of the day. I think I've gone over everything. Oh, yes. Big announcement. It's been a stressful day internet-wise for me. I started the upload for tomorrow's video, which normally would post at 3:30 a.m. I started it at 4 a.m. this morning, and as of about an hour ago, it was 38%. and it sat there for like 2 hours. So I deleted it, and I will start to repost it again at midnight because that seems to be kind of the best time. But our internet out here is just, it stinks. The only reason we can really, if we tried to do this with Wi-Fi, you guys know the nightmare that it was. The only way we can do these lives now is really by using our data, and we have unlimited data on our iPhones. That's the only way we can really do it. But anyway, so the YouTube channel, or the YouTube video, I hope it will be up tomorrow. I'm going to start it at midnight, and hopefully it will be up middle of the day. But it's only a 19-minute video, but it just was stalled, and I had to completely delete the download. So that stresses me out when that happens, and I'm doing everything I can, but it just is what it is. So I hope you guys forgive me.
Matt said go to McDonald's or Starbucks and upload on their internet.
Well, I have to do it from my computer. I'd have to take my whole, because that's the way I do it. I don't do it from a phone. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
I have to do it.
We have to drive about 30 minutes just to get to a Starbucks or a McDonald's.
Well, I'd drive 3 hours if it would upload fast.
Yeah, Glenn Butcher Showalter said someone asked where to send signed covers of the day, and Eric said to go ahead and send them to his email, eric@makeawwoodsign.com.
Yep, that's right. That is correct. So send them to me directly. Anyway, guys, I may, I don't know. Those of you that are watching here that also watch our Wednesday YouTube videos, I'm going to be up at 3:30. I might just try and do a live with the data and explain why Dad's video isn't, or our video.
Yeah, I won't be here.
Well, you'll be
On 3:30.
you'll be on the other side of that wall.
I know, sleeping.
Yeah, no. So I'll be up at 3:30. I'm almost.
Michael Carson says stop stressing and go fishing. Tessa says we still love
Good
you.
idea. I am going to go fishing tomorrow, but before I do that, I'll be up doing my normal thing at 3:30 or 4.
Oh, look at the size of that fly. Holy
Yowza.
crap. Ew.
Got him.
Oh, good job.
Oh, he flew over there.
No, he fell over there.
Did
He's
he?
underneath the
Good.
chair.
Good.
Renee said, do you ever sleep, brother? You're always going like an Energizer bunny. He falls asleep at his desk, cat naps.
I do. During the day, sometimes I'll just sit at my desk and cat nap for 5 minutes. But other than that, I can't stay in bed more than 5 hours. 4.5, 5 hours is about max for me. I just can't do it.
Makes me
So,
crazy. Not me.
Which, coincidentally, I hear that's what Donald Trump does. So
Oh, there you go.
that's all I got to say.
That's all I got to say. That's right.
I got too much to do. I got things to do. Anyway, it kills me that tomorrow's video is going to be late because I think it's really cool. I think you guys are really going to like it, and it is. You're going to see it. The sign that I made. You're going to see it on Friday, but I think it's really cool. What?
Renee said, I'll send you a bug assault gun for the flies.
I
You could send us a 357. We might.
Well, do you see Ryan's post with that? His hunting excursion. Anyway, yeah, crazy. All right, you guys.
Andy said he's the same way. I guess sleeping can't sleep long.
I just got too
Not
much
me,
to
I
do.
can sleep all damn day.
I got too much to do. All right, guys, and again, we've got some announcements coming up that I'm super excited about that I can't wait to tell you, but I can't tell you. Not yet. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, the next couple weeks. But anyway,
yes, we do. Go to the website, click on premium members on the website. You can sign up.
Who's that?
Justin Flores.
Oh, okay. Yep. Should be on the website. Should be a link right there in the top that says premium members. Yep. Yep. So, what else? Anything else? Anything else, guys? So tomorrow I'm going to be fishing, I think, totally plastics.
What happened to the Gary V wine? It's in my shop.
We've still got a little bit of it left. Who asked that?
Matt.
Matt? We still got a little left, Matt. Come on over and have a glass.
Or
a bottle.
case.
Or a case. We still got some.
I gave a bunch of it to my niece for her wedding, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't sell that. I can't ship it. The only thing that I can do with it really is give it away, drink it. Even bartering it gets a little dicey because they think that might be a way to get around having license to sell alcohol. So it is. It's one of those deals where you literally got to give it away. But
Yeah. Matt says it's aging.
Yeah, that's right. It'll last for a while yet. Anyway, for me, it was like free. So, even though it wasn't really free, but it was kind of like free.
Let's not go there.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, guys. That's it. I got ink from those stinking pictures all over my hands. I don't know if you guys, I have always been, this whole COVID thing hasn't been a problem for me because I wash my hands 20 times a day.
And cleaned your fingernails.
I know. So?
On camera. That's kind of...
I didn't do that on camera.
You just did.
I did not.
Yeah.
That was before the camera started rolling, I think. I'm sure it was.
Matt says, I saw your ad on Pinterest.
Really?
Do we have an ad on Pinterest?
I don't know.
Richard Barclay said, cheers, guys. Another great and informative show. Keep up the great work. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Richard. Good night, Richard. All right, we're out, guys. That is it. We will, tomorrow night, we'll be right here. And tomorrow, sometime during the day, hopefully you'll see the new YouTube video. So, have a great night. Hope you guys are all well. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wait.
Wait, what happened? Oh, you could.